There are places in the galaxy where power decides everything, where strength is admired, where perfection is expected, and where anything less is ignored. My name is Leon Varric. I wasn't supposed to be part of something important. I wasn't a commander, not a diplomat, not even particularly remarkable. I was a logistics officer, which in simpler terms meant I made sure things went where they needed to go and tried not to get in anyone's way while doing it. That's why I knew something was wrong the moment my name showed up on the selection list. Leon Varric, my supervisor said, reading from his console. You've been chosen for interspecies integration protocol. I blinked. I've been chosen for what? He didn't look up. Protocol states you are to report to the Dominion Court within the hour. Court. I repeated. As in royal court? Yes. I think there's been a mistake. There hasn't. There's a particular kind of silence that comes when you realize your life has just taken a turn you didn't agree to. I sat in it for a long moment, then stood up, because whether I liked it or not, I didn't have a choice. The Dominion Court wasn't like anything I had seen before. It wasn't just one species. It was many, dozens, maybe hundreds, gathered in a chamber so large it felt like standing inside a living monument. This is a bad idea, I muttered under my breath. You are not the first to think so, a voice beside me said. I turned. Another human. Older. Tired. What is this? I asked quietly. Selection, he said. They choose partners. Alliances. Bonds. And we're the candidates? He nodded. Why us? Because humans are adaptable. That didn't make me feel better. We were lined up. Not aggressively. Not like prisoners. But it felt uncomfortably close. Across the chamber, they stood. The ones doing the choosing. Alien beings of all shapes, sizes, and forms. Some elegant. Some imposing. Some unsettling. All powerful. This is insane, I whispered. No, the man beside me said. This is normal for them. One by one, they stepped forward and made their choices. Some humans were selected quickly, chosen for their strength, their intelligence, their appearance. Others were overlooked, passed by without a glance. I wasn't worried at first. Then, time passed, and I remained. Eventually, there were only a few of us left. And then, only two, me and her. I hadn't noticed her at first, which I would later realize was exactly the problem. She stood at the far end of the line. Still, quiet, different. Not because she was strange, but because she wasn't. Her features were softer, less pronounced. Compared to the others, she seemed understated. And in a place like this, that made her invisible. They won't choose her, the man next to me whispered. Why not? I asked. He shook his head. Because she doesn't stand out. I looked at her again. She wasn't trying to draw attention. Wasn't competing. Wasn't even looking up. Just waiting. That didn't sit right with me. The final selector made their choice. And just like that, it was over. The chamber began to shift. People moved. Voices rose. And we were left behind. Unchosen. The man beside me sighed. Better luck next cycle, he said, turning away. But I didn't move. Because she hadn't. She still stood there. Exactly where she had been. As if she expected something else. Or maybe nothing at all. Hey, I said, walking toward her. She didn't react at first. Then slowly, she looked up. Her eyes were uncertain. Are you okay? I asked. A strange question, given the situation. I am as I have always been, she said softly. That doesn't sound very okay. She tilted her head slightly. It is sufficient. I glanced around. Everyone else was leaving. So that's it? I asked. They just go. Yes. And we're just left here? Yes. That seems wrong. She didn't respond. Of course she didn't. She was used to it. What's your name? I asked. She hesitated. Sarah. Leon, I said. I know. That caught me off guard. You do. You were on the list. Right. Silence stretched between us. Then, an idea. A terrible one. Come with me, I said. She blinked. Where? I don't know yet. Why? Because standing here isn't helping. She looked at me like I had just said something impossible. No one has ever asked me that, she said. Asked you what? To go with them. That settled it. Yeah, I said. Well, I'm asking. The reaction was immediate, not from her, but from the room. You cannot do that, one of the officials said sharply. Do what? I asked. Make a selection. I'm not selecting, I said. I'm choosing. That is not your role. Maybe not, I said. But it is my decision. The room went quiet. All eyes turned. Not toward her. Toward me. Explain your reasoning, one of them demanded. I shrugged. She shouldn't be left behind. That is not a valid justification. It is to me. They didn't like that. Not one bit. You disrupt protocol, the official said. Then maybe your protocol needs work, I replied. Silence. Heavy. Uncomfortable. Then, a new voice. Let him speak. Everything stopped. Because that voice, it carried authority. Absolute authority. The Queen. She stepped forward. And for the first time, everyone listened. You chose her, she said, looking directly at me. Yes. Why? I glanced at Sarah, then back at the Queen. Because no one else did. A ripple moved through the chamber. And that is enough? It should be, I said. The Queen studied me. Then Sarah. Then back to me. You see value where others do not, she said. I see someone being ignored, I replied. A long pause. Then, very well, the Queen said. The entire room shifted. Your choice is accepted. Everything changed after that. Not immediately, but steadily. Sarah wasn't what they expected. She wasn't loud, wasn't dominant, wasn't obvious. But she was something else. Something deeper. You changed my path, she said to me one evening. I just made a choice, I replied. No, she said softly. You saw me. And that was the difference. Over time, others began to notice. Her insight, her perspective, her quiet strength, the things they had overlooked. You were always this capable, I said. Yes, she replied. They just didn't see it. No, she said. They didn't look. Even the Queen acknowledged it. You were right, she told me. About what? About her. I smiled slightly. I had a feeling. The galaxy didn't change overnight, but something shifted. A small crack in the way things worked. All because one person chose differently. No one chose her, I said one day. And yet you did, Sarah replied. Yeah. And it changed everything. I nodded. Yeah, I said. It did. Because sometimes, the most important choice you can make is the one no one else even considers. And sometimes, the person everyone overlooks is the one who matters most.